Good morning, everybody. So, I needed to make this video, and I have waited just a little while because I thought that I wanted to gather all my thoughts. So, again, this is like going to be definitely an emotional video and private and hard to make. So, if you have children, please make sure they are out of the room or you have your earbuds in. So, I don't know if all of you, and I'm sure all of you don't follow me on Instagram or Facebook, but um, Scott died, and I feel like I needed to come on here and talk to you guys about it because, you know, there's so many videos with him in them, and I know that many of you welcomed him into your home through those videos, and you felt like you knew him. So I'm going to do my best to get through all of this. Um, it's just surreal right now. So I spoke with Scott Thursday the 19th, and Scott and I had just gotten to the point where we could actually talk without me like flipping out and being really upset. And I spoke to him for about, I don't know, 3-4 minutes on Thursday. But Friday, I couldn't get a hold of him, and Saturday his phone went straight to voicemail, and then I called again on Sunday, and his sister answered, and I hung up. And then on Monday, Laura got a phone call from Trina saying that Scott is on life support and that he was dying, or he was already brain dead. And Laura called me, and I went and got her because I didn't want her really driving, and she was distraught, and I was kind of more in shock. And you know, there's been so much bad stuff between Scott and my family and me and Scott's family because our divorce like tore our families apart in every sense of the word. When I got to the hospital with Laura, his sister was like pressing, like as soon as she saw me, she's pressing for security to escort me off the floor. And I didn't say a word. I just let her have her moment. And I went outside and just waited on Laura. And Laura was up there probably 30-40 minutes. And the next day, his organs were donated, and Scott is and was gone on Tuesday. So, you know, I've had so many mixed emotions that I don't really know exactly what I'm feeling, but first off, I tried to warn his family for so many years that he had a drug problem. And I think his stepmom believed me. I think his sister believed me, but Scott was such a talker and such a bullshitter that, you know, he could convince anybody of anything. And so I think they were just I think they just ignored it. And believe me, this is really no one's fault but Scott's. And, you know, I just keep thinking, what did he do? I just don't get it. You know, like I said, we had just gotten to the point where we could talk, and I asked him, not Thursday, but one of the other conversations, I said, so is the grass greener on the other side? And he said, no, my life is awful. And he had previously just wrecked a car. And I think it's because, you know, of the drugs he were doing and probably nodded off. And um, flip the car. Well, I didn't know exactly what he was doing, but he overdosed on at Trina's house in the shower. And come to find out, when I went to the hospital, I saw Zane's mom. And it really kind of blew me away because apparently she'd been living there with Scott. And there was another roommate that Scott was with. There was quite a few. There was quite a few that had let me know they were kind of in the party game with Scott. And because I've gotten quite a few emails since his passing. And, this is the woman that we worked hard to get Zane from. And, I can't believe he had her back around. And I think she was just there for the money and drugs. And I really don't want Zane watching this video, so I hope he won't. But I can't believe he's gone, you guys. Like, I never really even wanted divorced. And then the stuff about the other child and the bad stuff there, kind of left me like no choice. And then, by the way, let's go back. So Scott was in the hospital and they kicked me out and I never got to see him. And I'd called my attorney or Facebooked him actually, and I said, Scott's not, here with us no longer and we won't be going to court. So so my attorney took a moment to call Scott's attorney and tell him, Scott is gone and obviously we won't go to court. And his attorney said, well, that's good. I'm withdrawing from the case because Scott never came in and filed the divorce papers or signed them so we could file them. I thought he had. So technically we were never divorced. So then came a moment for me, do I go back to this was on Tuesday, do I go back to the hospital and kick out that entire family who treated me awful after years of being together? And yes, I said I wanted Scott to drive his car off the bridge at one point, but I really didn't mean it. And I certainly didn't mean to have a drug overdose in the shower. Like, I'm not happy with that. I thought that we would be together for a very long time, and I thought we had a beautiful family, and, the whole divorce didn't seem right. But whenever I was debating on, do I go back up there and do I kick him out, and I didn't want to really do that, but I felt like they had it coming. I didn't because I felt like that was more ego-based. And instead of just letting him go, and I really didn't want to see him anyway like that. Like, this is not the last time I seen him, I was getting a cat. And, I talked to him quite a few times, so I didn't go back up there. And his family is just, not being the nicest, and they don't have to be. I didn't have to be either, but I decided I would stay home and actually stay with Laura because, like I told Scott and I told Trina, the only thing I really wanted out of my divorce was Laura, because she's one of my best friends. She probably is my best friend, but she's more than a friend. She's family. And I'm like at Laura's every single day. I was at Laura's last night. I'll be at Laura's today. Her kids and I spend a lot of time together. Jared works a lot, so she doesn't have a lot of people, and we are close and we trust each other, and she tells me things that I don't tell other people and vice versa. And she's an amazing person, one of the best people I know, but she has now lost her dad as well. And she hadn't talked to him since July either. And, we both sit there and we think, well, we had more time. She definitely felt like she had more time to say, let's go have lunch and try to forget some of the negative stuff. And I thought I had more time just to, I guess, work on a friendship. But all that was taken from us. And, I think Scott had a lot of demons. And I'm not sure he ever even knew what those demons are because he had problems in the military with drug use. He was kicked out of the military for that, and he was always like super embarrassed about it, but he was, and I actually have all that paperwork still. He struggled in his first marriage, his second marriage, his third marriage with me. He just struggled. And I don't think anybody will ever really know why. I certainly don't know why. I lived with him for a long time, and I really didn't ever see it getting like this. But the demise of my marriage was him coming up here for like 3 or 4 weeks alone, and in the time after that, the first 2 months, 3 months maybe. Like, I would have never moved home if I would have realized that Scott would be gone, that I would lose my family. And I mean, the kids, they obviously had to go back to art. And because I was staying in that camper, I lost Zane. I lost all the stuff basically in the house. I lost my animals. I don't know what she's going to do with Cooper, but from what I heard, that she's trying to get rid of Cooper, Willow, and Cupcake. They're at trainers, or at least they were the last I heard about it. Like, I would have never moved up here. I just wouldn't have done it. And now, honestly, the family and me and Lauren, Zane and his friends all have to go on and pick up the pieces and go on, because life doesn't stop for the ones that are still here. And on the front page of the newspaper, I was at work yesterday, and we had this little newspaper stand for our customers. I walked by it, and it said, heroin overdoses are being treated like murders or crime. I'd have to look at the picture. And, it makes me sick. Just to think about what he put his body through. Like, everyone always assumed that I took pills and all this stuff. I've never done anything like that. I have smoked natural tobacco for quite a few years. Not a pill taker. I don't do other drugs. And I'd worked really hard to get to that point, because life hadn't always been, easy, and I had made mistakes, and I really wanted Scott to, like, get it together. But when he moved up here before me, things were changing and things were different. And I noticed it, and I felt it, and I just would have never done it. I would have stayed in South Carolina and tried to keep everything together. Like, really, what are we supposed to do now? I know I had gone on and I'd seen Russell for a little bit, and he was a distraction. I mean, it was painful losing my family and losing Scott in that sense. And so Russell was just a big distraction, and he was somebody that I honestly cared about. So, we were really more like friends than anything else. And, I came to the understanding that, obviously Scott and I was not going to be together, and I had to make peace with that as well, because I never really wanted the divorce. I knew I needed the divorce after what happened with the child, but it's not like I really wanted one. I didn't want to lose my family. And I've been trying to process every single thing I'm feeling and thinking, and I don't really know what I'm feeling and thinking. I try to go to work and, a song would come on the radio there and my eyes would fill up and I just never thought I'd never get to speak to him again. I don't know, you guys. It made me physically sick for a day or two. But Laura was the same way. All I can do now is hold on to the memories. That's all Trina can do. That's all Zane or Laura can do. Jackson. Before you guys ask, when I told Jackson, he was actually quiet, a little mad, and confused. I'm shocked that Trina allowed Shannon to live there with Zane when social services took all of her kids away. I'm shocked that Scott died in the shower. And it's kind of fitting in some regards because he always told me that was his safe place. It's where he felt the safest. And so, it's harder than what people think. We weren't even divorced. And I didn't know that. But I still don't know. Like, his sister, I don't think, is having any funeral or anything. Or she hasn't told Laura. She most certainly ain't going to tell me. Which is fine. I don't do funerals anyway. And he's not here anymore. He's gone. And my best friend feels like this all happened for a big reason. Like, if he would have overdosed while we were together, she thinks it would have been like 30 times harder on me. And she thinks the bigger picture is Scott was originally going to be gone from this world. And I needed some time to learn how to stand on my own feet and how to finally do it and take care of myself a little better. Which is why she thinks the divorce happened, or the supposed divorce. I think it's all just tragic. I just keep thinking, what did you do? I feel terrible for Zane. I'm terrible for Laura and Jackson. Brittany. I don't know, you guys. I'm very sad. And I pull it together most days. But I knew talking to you guys would be hard. Because I only really talk about it with Laura. And, she told the grandkids, and they were upset. One of them wasn't buying her story of him, passing away in the shower. Because most people don't die in the shower. I understand the family is embarrassed and they don't want everyone to know. But the truth is that right now, Kentucky is 4th in heroin overdoses. And hiding it doesn't make anything better. There's other people's children. There's other moms and dads who are struggling with addiction and will lose their lives as well. And I don't think hiding it or brushing it under the rug makes it any better. I don't really want to talk ill of Scott because obviously he's gone. Some people would say he can't defend himself. There's no need for him to defend himself. there isn't any defense to what he did and the people he was around and the decisions he made. And so what kind of puts me at peace is that he's there with his mom and dad, one of his sisters, wherever he's at. And he will forever live in our memories. And he was an organ donor, so that, you know, he'll live on through some other people as well. And his sister did set up a GoFundMe page to help with Zane. I'll put the link below just in case you're interested in donating. I'm just really sorry for the way it ended, and I'm sorry that he was unhappy, and I'm sorry I had to get on here and tell you guys that he is gone. And I have to make my peace with it, and so does the rest of us. And I've been so angry at him for days. Like, I was just angry at the decisions he made. You know, I just wanted him to be happy, and I know I jumped his ass too much, or this or that, but I just was trying to keep him on the right path, and I guess I look like a super bitch doing it, which is fine. I'll take that, but I never wanted him dead. I mean, he hurt one of the children. What do you expect me to, like, feel? I mean, I was so conflicted over what I felt about him, because I have makeup rolling down my face. Because, you know, I loved him, but I was angry at him, and I was scared of him, but I felt safe with him. I was just so conflicted. Like, I don't know. I don't know where it went wrong. I don't know why everything happens, but I know that I loved him. I know that he loved me. I know he loved his children. And I know that he had problems. And we all have problems, but it's how we deal with those problems is what matters. And that's what I'm trying to teach my children. Problems come. Things happen. But you have to deal with them in ways that are healthy for you and for your family and for your children. You can't go off the rails. And I think ever since he got around one of his old friends, the creeper guy I used to talk about, and got around Shannon and the dope dealer who I actually went to school with, I think between them, Scott was just spiraling out of control. So it's heartbreaking and it's frustrating, and so I don't know how I am feeling. Obviously, I'm with somebody else. I'm with Ryan, and I feel like, you know, I've lost my family. Sorry, my storage was full on my phone, and I've got to try to figure out how to put these clips together. So at this point, all we can do is say a prayer for all the children and for Scott, for his family, and hope he's finally at peace. I just can't believe he's gone, and I felt like you guys had the right to know. So, let me know how you feel, or let me know what memory you enjoyed the best from the videos, or whatever makes you feel better. So many of you feel like you know us really well from all the videos, and he'll be missed, and I'm going to just keep putting one foot in front of the other. That's all I really can do, so Again, there is the link to Trina's GoFundMe page. You're more than welcome to donate. Don't feel obligated to donate. You know, she works and she does okay. I'm sure it is going to be a little stressful taking care of another child, but it's better than him going back, you know, with his mom or to foster care. And I'm sure she's got a lot to deal with. And eventually I'd like to talk to her, but I don't know if I ever will again. So, you know, I guess I'm just supposed to imagine that that part of my life didn't exist. I don't know. But it did. Oh, God, you guys. I never imagined I'd be on this video telling you this stuff. And just hold your family a little closer. And people, like even Scott's sister and stuff, all of them might want to sweep under the rug what actually happened. Well, what good does that do in any sense of the word? So, my last few words to you is, if there's someone struggling, seriously struggling with addiction, don't buy their bullshit. Don't buy their lies. Get them help. Because, you know, they'll be gone. Rock bottom is death. It's gone. There's no getting it back. You know, time is precious. And life is precious. So don't hate the addicts and don't hate the people who are really struggling. Just get them help. Do everything in your power to get them help. And maybe if we would have done that for him, he'd still be here. So it's definitely not easy to live with. And I really tried to get him help, short of locking him up, which I would have had to have like his sister's help and stuff, which no one really wanted to do. I believe that Scott would still be here. I don't know. I love you guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.